a Quickstart video tutorial for the Paper53 app. It is currently a free app. It used to have in-app purchases, but no longer. One of the things you may discover when you log into the app for the first time is that it will ask you to create an account. And I know that can be a problem sometimes with using with students. Usually if you tap to create the account and then hit cancel, it will bypass that screen, so there are ways to get around it. The interface has changed. It used to be notebooks. Now you have a list of your different projects on the side. And to begin a new project, you're going to hit New Grid, and then it will tap here. You tap here to start a project. You can also rename the project. Now this is a little bit different, probably not as intuitive. It gives you different options for different kinds of projects. If you're going to do a sketch note, I would suggest hit Start a Notebook, and they give you templates to start with. So I would just tap on the grid right here and hit Add to Grid, and your grid paper will come up. Now if you want to have just a plain sheet of paper, the easiest way that I've found to do that is just to hit the plus right here, and it will add a clean sheet of paper on for you. And so you have your tools here. There are two sets of tools. Let me roll along to the main tools. And you have colors right here. So let me get to just your main colors. So you do have your, let me start here with your watercolor brush, which I love. And then you have a pen tool, kind of leaves a little dot at the end. This marker, a pencil tool, and then the ink, which I also love because depending on how fast you do it, it will get thicker. And then your eraser. Now, none of the tools can be customized. You can't make them thicker or thinner. You can't change the transparency. If you're working on an iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil, you will have more flexibility with how you can draw with them. But if you're just working on a plain iPad, you kind of have to work with what you have. And I know a lot of artistic people love that. I personally like to be able to customize a little bit more. You've got your different colors here. You can also custom set up a palette, and you can blend colors. So just by picking different colors, you can swirl around there and make the exact color that you want. Now there is a second set of tools here if you slide over that are pretty nifty and have been added in the past year or so. This tool right here is a ruler tool, so it will draw straight lines for you. If you draw crooked, it becomes straight. One of the other features that's cool about this is if you draw a rectangle, it will turn it into a shaded rectangle. Same thing for a triangle, and same thing for a circle. That's pretty unique for any drawing app and is really nice for sketch notes. You also, if you connect two things together, it automatically makes it into an arrow, which is pretty nifty. The roller here is a way that you can make a shape that's filled in. And so you can just kind of draw with that to fill in shapes. And then the scissors is simply a cut and a paste, and you can grab something and move it to another area if you want. And the tools will sometimes disappear. Let me tap that for that to come into place, and you can just, oops, undo this. If you swipe up, the tools will reappear. The text tool is going to let you write text, but it does not write it on this actual page. It writes it below. So there are some limitations to that. You also then, if you hit the little arrow down there, it will pull your tools up, and you can just simply swipe it up and down. One additional thing that has changed about this app is some of the gestures have changed. It used to have like this counterclockwise swirl you had to do and this loop that you had to do for getting close up. Now it's a lot more intuitive. You can simply pinch to zoom in on something, which I think is, let me get back to a drawing tool, I think is nice and much easier than having to use the loop. And then if you want to undo something, it simply has over in this corner a little undo button right there, which will undo multiple times what you have done. And that can be very, very handy as well. When you are done, you will hit the done button right here. And then this little box here with the arrow will give you your options for sharing. And in most cases, if you want to be able to save it, you're going to save your image to the camera roll. And you have other options as well. And then when you're finished, you simply hit the X there, and your drawing will be saved in that grid or that notebook. And then tapping there will bring you back to your collection. So that's a quick overview of some of the features that are available in Paper53. There's more things as well, but that just gives you an overview of some of the drawing tools.